fellers. We got ourselves a new reaction video today. I'm standing up to grab a granola bar because I'm hungry. Ooh, chocolate chip. Okay. Today is a new Dean of Doom from the one, the only Dean of Doom, if you could believe it. It's the same person. We got Nostalgia. Never heard of this in my life, I'll be completely honest. But maybe I'll feel nostalgic for it. So, couple of things. Obviously the usual, Mount Pain, given consent, make video. If you've not seen original, go to his channel, give first view, come back, we watch together. Second, if you've not heard, he put out a new, short film on his other channel, Mount Pain Project. The Blue Place. Highly, highly recommend you go watch that. It pertains to Dean of Doom. So if you haven't seen it, go see it, please. I dare you. Prick. Third, I'd like to take... I don't know if I've done this before, but I'd like to take a moment of appreciation for the fact that the first frame of the video is always a black screen, so that we can start like this rather than what the first frame of the video actually is. Just a nice little touch. It doesn't matter, but I just appreciate that. Anyway, let's begin. Nostalgia. Oh, basketball court.
Hello there. I'm Mount Pain 27, and this is Dean of Doom.
Hold on. Sorry, hold on. I'm having trouble opening my granola bar. There we go. There we are. Okay. Alright, now I can eat.
The show we give grades to classic and contemporary Doom wads. Why? Because ranking things is fun. Today's episode will be dedicated to Nostalgia, a limit-removing, retro-themed megawad released in 2022 by my Olden. This was something of a spur-of-the-moment Season 3 selection. Fortuitously, I discovered Nostalgia while trolling the 2022 CAC Awards Honorable Mentions section for Diamonds in the Rough. Despite my generally neutral opinion of old-school style wads and growing disinterest in quote-unquote easy stuff, I burned through Nostalgia's short, maps.
He needs difficulty to keep himself interested now. He's turning into me.
Faster than a bag of mini Chips Ahoy. Nowadays, it's really unusual for me to replay WADs until script writing time rolls around. But all through my December and January dooming, I kept getting thoughts of, I'd rather be playing Nostalgia right now. In addition to all its maps borrowing titles from metal songs, Nostalgia has trademarks of brevity, levity, and economy. This episode is for players coming in fresh from the iWads looking for a fun and accessible inroads to custom Doom content. Veterans in need of a breather or a trip down memory lane will also get their fix. So here's how the show works. Every map gets one grade for quality and one for difficulty. Quality grades go from A to F. Grade A
I'm looking to see how many references I can
visually
get
distinctive,
in the
creative, and a fair challenge. We grade difficulty from X to E. X for extreme, E for easy, A through D in between. Keep in mind, my idea of a great map is probably not the same as yours, but that's okay. Disagreeing is part of the fun, after all. At the end of the day, this show is about spreading the joy of Doom. So let's do so. Before we start, the rules are we play on ultra-violence and must pistol start each level. I need to play the WAD twice before reviewing it. Saves are allowed, and we go for...
This song is great, by the way. I don't know what it is, but I like it.
100% kills in all levels, making exceptions when it's just not worth it. I play on Z-Doom, and today's compatibility is limit removing. Now, to the WAD.
Alright.
Map 1, Dragonaut. This mild mountain
Don't
base
get that
is
one.
as straightforward as they make them. There aren't many megawads today that have the courage to open with such a humble map. It's kind of adorable, really. My Olden tips his cap to Romero with this little E1M1 room and accessible outdoor area, and this lightning bolt secret seems to wink in Memento Mori's direction. Dragonaut's simplicity is its best feature. Grade B-, difficulty E. Map 2, Under the Surface. My Olden's homage to Underhalls is chipper and chummy. Led by a James Paddock remix of The Healer Stalks, Under the Surface softballs the player with a sewage-covered squadron of pinkies, imps, and zombos before quietly introducing the Kako and Hell Knight. With the obligatory super shoddy and a secret rocket launcher on hand, they're not too dangerous. I really like how my Olden hides secrets, especially in these early maps. Some are freebies, but others remind me of what it feels like to remember that one secret from a map I haven't played in a while. Under the Surface is really comfy. Grade B, difficulty E. Map 3, Illuminatus.
Make your secrets stand out.
Illuminatus.
Well, within reason.
This energizes this megawad just a tiny bit with its up-tempo
You know what I mean.
MIDI and warm start. This is where my Olden's encounter design chops start to show. The rocket launcher puts an end to the monster's hope for survival, and if you don't get sidetracked secret hunting, you'll roll through this map in an unbroken chain of kabooms. It's here and gone in a flash, but Illuminatus builds momentum beautifully. Grade B, difficulty E. Map 4, Pull the Plug. I know it's
So far, I get 0 metal references, so I guess I'm a fake metal fan.
its whole point was to walk back the intensive detailing that's become a staple of modern mapping, but nostalgia is still a very pretty megawad. My Olden's understated texturing and nuanced lighting enliven the tried-and-true slime-based formula. I love seeing details like this Kako lurking in a nukage drain pipe, and this blinking monitor which unlocks the plasma rifle. The debuts of Jack Skellington and Archie Bunker are enough to warrant some caution, and my Olden makes oblivious players step lively while slumming it in poison, but he spoils active secret hunters with an extra rad suit, rockets, and a soul sphere. Pull the Plug was the first nostalgia map to really hook me, and my return trips to it have been pleasant. Grade B+.
I'm digging the vibe of this so
Map
far.
5, Poison God Machine. God Machine.
Uh-oh.
God Machine? Oof, sorry. I zoned out there for a second. Grimier and grittier than my Olden's last Toxic Depot, Poison God
my
Machine
God,
packs a punch.
I know that was a zesty joke. I appreciate the lore implication, though. Big fan. Big
Break
fan.
out the secret
That was really
SSG
cool.
and get to work. The sniper imps in the rocket launcher wing will tax sloppy or reckless play, and I tend to flee the hurt floor-covered Mancubus room to keep something stupid from happening. Call it Slaughter Stockholm Syndrome if you like, but nowadays I tend to get a bit more nervous in situations where I'm not the underdog. I'm kind of neutral about this level. Map 4 did the same theme better. Grade B-, difficulty C-. Map 6, Spirit Crusher. This crafty combat crossword puzzle will give profligate players a pinch. Unlike in maps 1 through 5, ammo does not grow on trees. Doom Guy and I were both gritting our teeth in this watery pit fight despite our superior health and armor. Spirit Crusher's clueless spider mastermind salutes Doom 2 Map 6, but its gimmicky centerpiece doesn't get much screen time. The nastiest surprise in the map is the Archvile who covets your blue key. He'll pick up whatever you left laying around on this mezzanine, including 2 barons who will cut your ammo to the quick.
It's like,
just in case I forget to
this seems like a reimagining of Doom 2 in name only, sort of, so far.
say so later, my Olden does a super job calibrating difficulty throughout this whole megawad. Grade B+, difficulty C. Map 7, A Fine Day to Die. You couldn't call it nostalgia if its 7th map didn't do something gimmicky with Macubi.
True.
Even compared to its bite-sized compatriots, A Fine Day to Dead Simple feels a bit tossed off. My Olden seems to
Fine
have
Day
spent more
to
time
Dead
taking
Simple.
chunks out of this base than sketching its blueprint. The hellish corruption theme is something he'll thoroughly expand on in maps to follow. The object of the game is to use 3 keys to trigger 3 skull switches which each summon pairs of Macubi. Kill them all and the bars blocking the exit will lower. Sector 666 skullduggery aside, there's not a lot to grab onto here. Grade C+, difficulty D.
So here's the thing. This is called nostalgia, right? And it's meant to be reminiscent of earlier Doom wads. So I'm expecting at least a couple Rise of the Triad tracks in here, because I feel like that's kind of a necessity.
Map 8, Neurotica.
Hey, that's me! Ah!
This entrail-draped compound gives you weapons 3 through 5 in the first minute if you follow the blood gully all the way to the end. Once again, my Olden's combat snaps, crackles, and pops. The blue key squabble is ripe for a rocket or two, and the final fight whips out nostalgia's first problematic arc.
This song's great.
Neurotica's intentionally chintzy fire blue and gore have a friend in me, and I continue to love the rapid-fire delivery of these maps. Grade B, difficulty D+. Map 9, Bleed Me an Ocean.
Oh my god! I got it! Acid bath! Yeah! Oh my god! If you've never listened to Acid Bath, turn this video off now, go listen to the entirety of When the Kite String Pops, and come back here and tell me what you thought. You have to listen to that entire album. It is a masterpiece. It is a sludge doom metal masterpiece.
Brutal schism, my beloved. We meet again, but not for long. In the hands of an experienced player, Bleed Me an Ocean goes down like dominoes. Why did I capitalize dominoes? Nostalgia's first BFG is available almost right away if you check this flickering indented light, and if you don't let the Kakos block you into the computer room, you'll cruise through the rest of the map no sweat. Nostalgia's not meant to be a hard set, but Bleed Me an Ocean is disappointingly spineless. Grade B-, difficulty
Oh my
D-.
god. Sorry, I wasn't expecting an Acid Bath reference in here. So few people know about them, but man, I am so happy to get a chance to shout them out any chance I get.
Map 10, Creeping Death.
Okay, that's a Metallica reference. That's off the Ride the Lightning.
Undoubtedly the toughest map in the megawads so far, Creeping Death bleeds Plutonia, and not just because it uses a Plut MIDI and has blood seeping out of it. Heavy hitters have overrun this grassy bunker, with the Revenants and Macubi being particularly troublesome, and my Olden singes you with 2 atypically nasty Archvile traps before the Fat Lady sings. The final fight will be a wake-up call for vets who dozed off. It's a round robin of Revenants, Hell Knights, Barons, and Archies.
Dude, that
Even with
Archvile
a free
dodged that
BFG,
like
it's
a
quite
pro.
overwhelming. Creeping Death was also the first map where I couldn't track down all the secrets without assistance from Dave Taylor. Well, and American McGee. Grade B, difficulty C+.
That's pretty funny.
Map 11, Rapture. A rousing wrap-up to the first episode, Rapture turns up the temperature and ladles on the sauce. Even with an early plasma rifle, the opening shootout always takes a bigger bite out of me than I expected to. Beware especially those sneaky skeletons, and think carefully before jumping into the spider pit. As usual, finding secrets will soften the blow. Side note, my Olden likes solitary Soul Sphere secrets enough for me to think of them as one of his mapping signatures at this point. With the main area exercised, you can grab the rocket launcher and break into the heavily guarded BFG chamber. If you're strapped for ammo here, you might have to do a dance with the Martian and his merry band. I like to keep some rockets in my pockets just in case. Exploit the Cyber Demon's inability to play nicely with others.
Maybe you're just happy to see them.
And you're bound for the big city, where nostalgia really hits its stride. Grade A-, difficulty B-. Map 12, The Lion's Den. Anybody brave enough to give the Fire Engine red brick texture a starring role in their map has my respect. Led by a hard-rocking MIDI, The Lion's Den kicks off a doom-cute winning streak for nostalgia. I really enjoy walking these burn barrel-lined streets, and the collapsed tunnel, construction barrier, and simple domicile are all worth a smile. The combat sticks closely to the my Olden playbook, loose firefights punctuated by lowering wall traps and a few tight squeezes. I like the stylistic shift that Lion's Den introduces a bit more than the map itself, but it's still a fine piece of work.
Oh my god, this MIDI.
Difficulty C.
This MIDI is incredible.
Map 13, Sludge Factory. Sludge Factory might be fun for you, but it's just another 9 to 5 for the demons. The cacodemons are hard at work sealing their nukage vats, while imps and revenants loiter under the watchful eye of Foreman Baron, and you're probably doing these office zombies a favor putting them down.
No, it's not a favor. That's the job I want to do. I don't want to die or anything like that, but man, put me in one of those cubicles. Give me 8 hours of busy work, and I'll do that for 50 years. That's what I want to do.
A dead-end job. The Hell Knight in the corner office seems like a nod to Moldy. In fact, so does most of the upper floor. I may be easy to please when it comes to Doom Cute, but these cubicle accessories are some of the cleanest I've seen in a while, and the running water sink trick is very clever. Getting the plasma rifle secret was the hardest part of this map for me, but that's probably more a reflection of my platforming skills than anything. The jovial music, laid-back action, and lighthearted set dressing make Sludge Factory a keeper. Grade A-, difficulty D+. Map 14, Beneath. The continuity of Nostalgia's City episode is such an asset. It glues my Olden's world together and creates opportunities for superb transition maps like Beneath. This demon commuter culling joins Kama Sutra Map 13, Hellbound Map 5, Augur Zenith Map 6, and Heartland Map 1 in keeping the noble tradition of Doom subways alive.
That was a really good
Absolutely
stun
love
from
that
that
you can
shotgunner.
explore the other side of the tracks, pop outside, and crash a game of pickup basketball between 2 Revenants and Macubi. If you're sharp, you can find both cell weapons and secrets out here.
Man, that fight seemed like a slam dunk.
I feel a great deal of vicarious excitement seeing my Olden's detailing chops rise to meet his ambition. Beneath's combat is a tad tepid, but it was always going to play second fiddle to the setting. Grade A-, difficulty C-. Map 15, the Lotus Eaters. The overcast sky can't bring down the mood in this sprightly suburban shootout. The Lotus Eaters is a delicious slice of Doom life, presumably named after its demon inhabitants, hypnotized by the middle-class American dream. In the same vein as Miss Sporty from Kama Sutra or My Fave from JPCP, the Lotus Eaters is content to doodle with line defs, showering the player with gizmos and visual gags, my favorite of which is this Sears painting that depicts E3M4, House of Pain. Get it? Some of the map's best stuff can only be accessed if you...
Wait. Sorry, say that again?
Showering the player with gizmos and visual gags, my favorite of which is this Sears painting that depicts E3M4, House of Pain. Get it? Some of the map's best stuff can only be accessed if you find the switch by Imp Jr.'s computer, which opens a teleporter to the fanciest house in the neighborhood. Fun fact, according to my Olden, it's actually a recreation of the house he lived in when he discovered
There's a cat!
Doom. This Archvile couple sure is well off if they can afford an in-ground pool and a pool table, which is stowed in the basement next to the laundry machines. It's always a hoot to watch demons interact with quotidian objects, and my Olden picked the perfect map slot to go on a Doom Cute binge. I have to lodge a complaint against the choice of MIDI, unfortunately. It's a better fit for mowing down demons than mowing the lawn. That minor quibble aside, to Lotus Eaters is one of Nostalgia's highlights.
I don't know, man. Mowing the lawn can get pretty intense sometimes.
Grade A, difficulty C. Map 31, Powerslave.
Okay, that's Iron Maiden.
TNT apologists represent. I guess I
Yeah!
don't listen to that much metal, because Powerslave is the first nostalgia map title that means anything to me. Befitting its secret slot, Powerslave is on the tougher side, kicking off with a ruckus in the ruins that matches the best my Olden's thrown at us so far. Them bones guard the BFG, which you'll...
That was pretty good. That one was pretty good. That was funny. That was funny. It's the archvile sound that always gets me, I think, but that was pretty good.
Matches the best my Olden's thrown at us so far. Them bones guard the BFG, which you'll need to dispatch the lone cyber demon and throngs of hellish lieutenants in the Yellow Key Crypt. Maybe I've just gotten too comfortable, but Cyberman Dias always swipes a pelt or two off me here. If you found the blue key, have a peek at the left side of the pyramid.
No, two-shotting them's really fucking difficult, actually. They will pretty often blast you when you're going for the close-up shot.
As you come out of the crypt to find the secret exit. It gets off to a strong start, but I think Powerslave wants to be a bit longer and less shreddable by the BFG. Grade B, difficulty B-. Map 32, Retro Vertigo. I wonder who the inmates of this corner of hell will be. Retro Vertigo opens with a cyber demon roaring over a cacophony of Nazi gunfire. You're very exposed in this courtyard, so turn those Schustaffels into Mindlebens as quickly as you can. There's a
Turn them into Mind Labens.
closet behind the cyber if you want to watch them infight, or you can save them to reenact Fortress of Mystery like I did here. Let's make it even more interesting.
Ooh. There's the Doom 3 sounds.
Cushioning this archvile hoedown with 2 megaspheres was a wise decision. Power-ups...
Wow, so what... Oops. So what is that? Gross? I'm blanking, I'm stupid. Fortress of Mystery, what else?
Lets you appreciate the craziness of this fight without worrying so much, and propels you into the ending fully stacked. Retro Vertigo is probably the most entertaining Wolfenstein-themed map I know of. Grade A-.
Yeah, no, that looks really cool.
C+. Map 16, Fear of the Dark.
Once again, it's Iron Maiden. Also, I've not listened to a lot of Iron Maiden, but that's my favorite Iron Maiden album.
A perfect pearl of a map, Fear of the Dark is nostalgia's doom-cute zenith, and my favorite map in the set to simply visit. The twinkly yet ominously expectant MIDI nestles deeply into my Olden's alternately adorable and creepy decor. The mid-texture greenery and huggable sector trees give me a warm and fuzzy feeling inside, but the panoply of tools in the Baron Shed is jaw-dropping, and the pushable piano key that lowers a bookshelf to reveal the BFG is one of the 5 coolest secrets I've seen.
Okay.
To be honest, the fights in this map are pretty obligatory. Even the suspenseful catacomb showdown isn't actually all that suspenseful with energy weapons at your disposal, but my Olden makes no pretense of favoring action here. Fear of the Dark is a beautiful, clever, and absorbing graveyard stroll that you won't soon forget. Grade A, difficulty D+. Map 17, Ars Moriendi. Latin for the art of dying announces the return of my Olden's more practical mapcraft. This halfway hellified port city map plays conservatively until you pass through the blue door and meet a roaming cyber demon and seafaring spider mastermind. A reference to MS Futura from Scythe, perhaps? Frugal players can set up a gotcha grudge match that the Spider Mama actually has a pretty good chance of winning. The barrier keeping you off the ship blocks cyber rockets, but not Spidey's super machine gun. The red key allows you to board the vessel and snipe the Queen of the Sea consequence-free. My Olden's excellent taste in MIDI helps this otherwise middling map stand out. All hail Tristan Clark. Grade B+.
I'd like to hear from everybody. What do you think the Spider Mastermind could have that would make it less, like, easy to bump off? Like, it keeps the, I'm plugging something. It keeps the super chain gun and all that, and it's still, like, a giant monstrosity, but, like, what do you think it could have that makes it more formidable than just, oh, Spider Mastermind, this fight's easy, you know?
C+. Footnote. I don't think I've ever seen a mapper use lowering wall traps as often as my Olden. Let me go back and make a supercut to illustrate.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's the same idea. 9, 10, 11, 12.
I'm not sure if this is going to be a funny gag or an intervention for you, my Olden. Map 18, The Fault of the Flesh. First off, The Fault of the Flesh gets big props for continuity.
Oh, that sounds familiar, but I can't place it. The title.
It begins on the Mastermind's boat from last map. The Fault of the Flesh's blood, brick, and metal approach is less visually inspired than my Olden's last few efforts, but I'll happily write him a one-man Megawad pass for that. The two archviles that appear here are pretty fearsome, especially the one guarding the blue key with a gang of imp proxies. I'm almost glad I forgot how to get the BFG, because it made this oversized, bloody coliseum a bit less disappointing. It speaks highly of nostalgia that this is one of its most forgettable maps. Grade B-, difficulty C+. Map 19, Times of Grace, an informal reprise of nostalgia's city theme that shares a lot of Map 17's DNA. Times of Grace is a blighted downtown shootout that makes excellent reuse of its space. Most of the action orbits the Red Key, which is floating atop the fountain spray in the middle of the park. The opening fight gets pretty hectic, especially if you fail to contain the plasma rifle protectorate, and the pink and brown imps will eat all your good ammo if you let them.
Pink and brown
Cyberman
imps
guards the exit door, and he's a pain in the ass to SSG with the hedge backboards behind you and lava beneath your feet. I like the going down-esque backdrop in this map, but the rest of it feels a tiny bit redundant after Ars Moriendi. Grade B, difficulty C+. Map 20, Hell Awaits.
That is Slayer. That is Slayer. And that is an album that I've appreciated on a second listen. The first one didn't do much for me.
A lot to like about Nostalgia's last terrestrial map. My Olden stretches his fingers with one last dash of Doom Cute, hits you with some wicked surprise jabs, and limits your ammo to make things more interesting. The archvile that appears when you open the yellow door will scare the pants off first-timers in Forgetful Mountains, and my Olden chases one of the signature wall-lowering traps in the Red Key Room with a rapid Revenant formation in the testing chamber. Thank God the archvile leads the charge out of the Hell Gate, because your backpack is going to be light by map's end. It kicks off a bit questionably, but Hell Awaits turns out to be a stellar transition to Nostalgia's Inferno, and I appreciate the low-key irony that UAC Teleportation Research Labs is as mundane a place to work as Dunder Mifflin Paper Company. Grade B+, difficulty C+.
I haven't seen The Office, so can't comment. Oh my god. That's the most obvious, well, one of the most obvious Slayer reaches.
21, South of Heaven.
And actually probably my favorite Slayer album in general.
Classic Doom Hell doesn't inspire much nostalgia in me, actually, but South of Heaven doesn't miss a step action-wise. If you're getting Scythe vibes from all the red rock, don't worry. My Olden won't be performing an Eric Holm-style suplex on us. You'll want to snap up the secret plasma rifle and the bloodfall to your left, because the quadruplet of Barons guarding the blue key will guzzle down whatever ammo you didn't spend on the Revenants and Cacos. Resist the temptation to burn rockets in the two-pronged Red Key Cave fight, because you'll want to have a reply for Archie Vile when he comes to collect your soul. South of Heaven is a bit of a muted Hell episode opener and undersells what's coming. Grade B-, difficulty C+.
Much like the regular album does, kind of, actually, to Seasons in the Abyss.
Map 22, Absolute Hatred. Oh, I see what you did there. Absolute Hatred turns the tables on folks expecting Thy Flesh Rehashed. The Cacos start behind
Thy Flesh Rehashed
and you into the lava, but my Olden extinguishes his own hot start with several rad suits, plenty of recovery items, including the secret megasphere, and a very missable super shotgun. After the opening room, Absolute Hatred feels a bit mailed in, with one L-shaped lowering wall trap and a BFG-able finale rounding things out. Without the Romero reference, this map would be pretty weak. Grade B-, difficulty C. Map 23, Blood Red.
That is another Slayer reference. That's actually a very, very good song off of, Seasons in the Abyss that I don't hear many people talk about.
Rugged Demon Readout goes deeper than you think. Mind the Cacos and the hit scan heavy start, and don't forget to hop to the super shoddy before plumbing the depths. There's also a secret BFG for rock climbing enthusiasts. Unlike most my Olden secrets, it's a major difference maker difficulty-wise. The Dark Cellar fight and Bloody Basin shebang don't beg for BFG-age, but when you return to the surface, a half-dozen cacodemons converge while the Earl of Cyberfordshire paces the ramparts. Every time I play this map, the plasma-hungry Cyber makes my ammo situation dicey. But having the BFG ensures that you won't need more than 80 cells to dethrone him. If you're a Doom professional, that is. Blood Red's generic
That's a tricky one. That's a tricky one.
But I like the eccentric, bassy MIDI and the combat in general. Grade B, difficulty B-. Map 24, Flesh and the Power It Holds is aptly named.
Oh, that's another familiar one, but I don't know!
This map is an upset stomach turned inside out, easily the tensest and most volatile nostalgia level yet. Right out of the gate, you're assailed with fodder foot soldiers, skulking revenants, lumbering Macubi and sneaky chain gunners in tighter quarters than you've grown accustomed to.
Jesus.
The yellow key archvile trap is a fool me twice, shame on me situation, but the next two fights are
that was
much harder
bullshit.
to control. Don't bother.
That one was bullshit. bullshit. That Archvile should have died. That was garbage.
Sparing the Cyber once you butchered everything in the Blue Key skin pit. You unfortunately can't take him with you. The double Archvile Bone Squad that bleeds out of this map's musculature will strike fear in the hearts of newbies and possibly catch veterans napping. Flesh and the power it holds helps the episode find its feet, adding some much-needed mania to the proceedings. Grade B+, difficulty B+. Map 25, D-Devil. D-Devil is something of a concept map. At first, it appears to be like...
D-Devil, I'm sorry. That sounds like, sounds like a song Deicide would write.
Like time, nothing but a flat circle, but soon reveals its diabolical purpose. Break into the Blue Key Sanctum and you'll find a slew of ammo, a megasphere, and 4 Archviles ready to pounce. Pairing Tristan Clark's mischievous MIDI with the antics of these nefarious demon medics was a strong decision on my Olden's part. If you think this fiery game of musical chairs is bad, just wait. After you liberate the BFG and a red skull key from this flock of demons, get ready for 3 more vials right in your face, another one by the exit, and a cyber doorman standing by to keep speedrunners honest. Things can go very awry in this map, so be quick and don't let the vials make a grilled Doom Guy sandwich of you. Grade B+,
I'm hungry!
Difficulty B. Map 26, Sepulchral Slaughter.
Okay. That sounds like Sepultura. That's like the easy reach, but I don't know.
Hands down the most violent map in the Megawad, Sepulchral Slaughter is a churning, blood-soaked nightmare maker packed to the gills with monsters. For the Sunlust nuts out there, it's like a play school version of Muse Cephei. Wide open, fleshy, and full of traps. A glut of demons guard each of your major weapons. The Imp and Archvile Super Shotgun Snare is the evilest because the SSG is probably the first weapon you'll see, and your instincts may kick in before prudence does. The Plasma Rifle and Rocket Launcher fights lock you in until you're done with them, and the latter punishes hammerheads like me who leave demons alive on the Gore shore with a twisty, narrow bridge to safety. Any key will unlock a BFG, so the best strategy would probably be to go for the Plasma first to fill up on cells, then ride Big Green all the way to the end. Sepulchral Slaughter's only shortcoming is its placement. This map practically begs for the 29 slot. Grade A-, difficulty B+. Map 27, War Ghoul. I know filler when I see it. War Ghoul's gameplay lacks a strong hook, and its layout repeats many of Nostalgia's early motifs, specifically the courtyard opening, the atrium with a sunken center, and the twisty hallway that ends in a key and ambush. If you told me that my Olden retextured a slime base originally meant for episode 1 and slapped down a few extra Archviles to make it harder, I'd believe you. Save for the Cacodemon group hug at the end, nothing about this map stands out to me. Grade C, difficulty C+. Map 28, Seasons in the Abyss.
What could that be a reference to?
This Stygian scene stealer brings my Olden's A-game. Judging by the ornate...
The answer is Slayer, by the way.
...landscape, ripped-up floorboards, and spare but effective encounters, I'd hazard a guess this is one of the last maps my Olden developed for this wad. The pitch-black sky brings out the dangerous undercurrent in this Donkey Kong MIDI, which adds a hint of arcade magic to the action. Nostalgia indeed.
I would have guessed Donkey Kong.
Ammunition is at a premium here. You'll need to hang on to some cells to get past this gatekeeping cyber and thread your rockets through Archie's meat shields in the yellow key chamber. Seasons in the Abyss is an atmospheric and propulsive baton pass to Nostalgia's penultimate map. Grade A-, difficulty B-. Map 29, Chambers of Dis. Blood and green marble go together like peanut butter and jelly in classic Doom. Chambers of Dis channels E3M8 as much as a map without shuriken-shaped arenas and Spider Masterminds can. Helped along by another great Tristan Clark MIDI, this map builds more trepidation than it needs to, actually. Take it from someone who's been down a few of Doom City's darker streets. Chambers of Dis is baby's first slaughter, and that's for the best. One of my favorite
Doom City's darker streets. That took me a second. That's good.
Things about Nostalgia is its ability to remind seasoned players of where they came from. The 2 Cyber and Hell Knight jamborees would have had me shaking in my boots pre-Dean of Doom, but the latter teaches valuable lessons in target prioritization, infighting, and goat herding. Take out the floaters, find cover, and let the Cybers do the work for you. Chambers of Dis is affably evil, a phrase which won't make sense to you unless you played enough Doom to feel cozy in low-powered, hellish environments. Grade B, difficulty C+. Map 30, Nostalgia. Maximum respect to my Olden for not only sticking to tradition with a good old-fashioned icon of sin ending, but also sticking the landing on his Megawad. Nostalgia's closer is almost completely painless. It's a simple matter of BFGing a Spider Demon and 2 Cybers while ignoring everything else. With a red skull in your fist, you can take the stairs up to the shooting range and fling rockets right into the icon's forehead. No timed jumps necessary. Thanks, my Olden. Grade B, difficulty D.
Hell yeah.
So, Nostalgia was like a cup of hot chocolate in the blizzard of challenging maps I played at the end of 2022.
What did I get, like 6 or 7 references, something like that? Believe Me in Ocean was my favorite because I got to talk about Acid Bath.
Its homey visuals are unexpectedly comforting, and though it keeps a modest
Hey, a mountain. Hey, you're in this Mount Pain.
tempo, Nostalgia is never boring. According to my Olden, the goal was to bridge the gap between Doom 2 and Plutonia in terms of challenge, but Nostalgia's gameplay most reminds me of early Scythe's best stuff. These maps are short, fun to look at, and easy to binge. Like Doom comfort food to somebody who plays a lot of it. It's
I love me
stylish,
some Burger King,
enjoyable, and fluent in multiple themes. I've long been dissatisfied with my standard reply to the perennial question, I just finished the IWADs, what do I play next? Thanks to my Olden, I have a new answer. My final grade for Nostalgia is an A-. Difficulty-wise, this will be a cakewalk for daily Doom players, but the Hell episode puts up more of a fight than Doom 2's, so a C- feels like a good fit. It's accessible, but not child's play. Now for my Dean's list. Valedictorian, Map 16, Fear of the Dark. Salutatorian, Map 15, The Lotus Eaters. Class President, Map 26, Sepulchral Slaughter, and the dunce cap goes to Map 27, War Ghoul. Nostalgia also earned itself an honor roll, with the following maps making the cut. Map 11, Rapture, Map 13, Sludge Factory, Map 14, Beneath, Map 32, Retro Vertigo, Map 26, Sepulchral Slaughter, and Map 28, Seasons in the Abyss.
Slayer!
Thank you very much for watching. Please feel free to share your thoughts in the WAD down below. Love to hear what you think, and I'll heart your comments to let you know I've read them. Now, I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge my generous patrons. Aaron Allen, Agile...
Let's see, is there... Brutal Schism, of course. Great song. I'm sorry, okay, hold on. There's one name I want to hear him read, hold on.
Agu Ekbotham, Beatbeard, Ben Barrett, Big Psy and his trusty Glock.
Hell yeah, Big Psy. Okay, let me see. Let me skip a little bit past this.
Cow, Why Bimo Not a Crab, William Huber, and Waukeshack. Thank you. I appreciate you all very much. This is Mount Pain 27, and I'll see you in the next episode of Dean of Doom.
Yes, you will, Mr. Mount Pain 27. I'm gonna leave a comment right now. Watch this. Slayer! Comment. Wait. Oh, there it is. And like, comment. Ooh, my Olden. Hold on, I'm gonna read this. Wow, cool to see this get an episode. Thanks for the kind words. It's always nice to see someone enjoyed my work. Couple of random thoughts. The plasma secret in map 13 is actually meant to be accessed by lowering a crate near the nukage vats. That jump was found by Blue Pineapple 72 during testing, and I just left it in as an alternate method, but it seemed to be the one most people find. Okay. Apparently, mid-textures got borked in the port area using the crosses in map 16 turned into massive tuning forks. That's pretty funny. The Moose Sephi comparison for map 26 is apt. There's some inspiration. Okay. Hell yeah, my Olden. That was very enjoyable. That was a very enjoyable episode. Alright. This concludes this reaction of Dean of Doom Season 3, Episode 12. I look forward to Season 3, Episode 13, because April Fool's Day is coming up, and I'm willing to bet that's the next episode. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to see how he gets us this year. Farewell, gamers.